season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Ready, break! Seven Pirates! 65 Jacks! Ready?
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Buffalo 18!
After the pick six, they go right back to the air. Throw left side complete. That's Jenkins. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. 11 yards for number 11. That's his first catch of the game, and an impressive one against multiple defenders.
And how about that start? Really aggressive. Yeah, there was double coverage out there, but that didn't stop them at all. They went right at it and defeated it on that play.
Back to throw now on first down. He finds his man. Complete. It's Jenkins. The Saints had 5-9 on the year, and they come in on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Cup 19!
2nd and 4. Open man, complete downfield to Davis. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 27-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick six just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 27.
60 Maverick! Warriors 17! 19 tight!
They'll set up a throw. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Falcons are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line.
For a team who came in here on a healthy winning streak, we're seeing some uncharacteristically bad play thus far. And that streak is definitely in jeopardy if this offense keeps giving the ball away and can't mount a few drives of their own.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. yards to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. To throw from his end zone, Davis. And it's intercepted. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
Sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and he can't do it all on one throw.
Throwing to start the drive. Mabry. It's completed to Caldwell. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
19 right.
Throwing on first down. Mabry. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Jenkins. It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Let's go now.
Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Off the play fake. Mabry. Touchdown, Saints. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints are an extra point away from evening this one up. Extra point by Butker is on target. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. We'll see a return here from the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time...
And it'll be intercepted. And the Falcons are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. And, Charles, you wonder about this defense coming in. I mean, look, it's no secret they're playing a team that's down on its luck right now. Losers of 5 straight. How does that change how you prepare for a game?
Well, to me, the first thought is you just get after them early, right? Take away any chance of them building any confidence. But the second thing is you prepare a little bit differently. You've got to expect this team to take chances, go for it on 3rd and 4th downs, run a lot of trick plays, anything to try and break their losing streak. So you must stay alert and stay aware.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
These two teams, they met in Atlanta earlier in the year with the Falcons winning that game. So they'll be looking for the win here in New Orleans to complete the season sweep.
Now a give, right side. Rodriguez.
And this will be a Falcons first down as the tackle made it about the 43-yard line.
Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey.
Looking for Cruz, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Tyson Campbell.
Partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack, because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
Back to 60. Go street.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Mabry. Throw right side, caught by Davis. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Up the middle they go. Jenkins.
And the Saints are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as strong running gets them to the 9-yard line.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Back to throw. Mabry. This is caught. Touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Saints have taken the lead. On that connection, it looked like they maybe had some replay communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open to the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it, but whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Ready?
He finds his man, complete. That's Hayes. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
first down. It's Rodriguez, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Davis now. Sliding out of the pocket. And they'll let it go deep for Cruz. And for the 3rd time here this half, it's intercepted. And the Saints are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you throw this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted. Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this team, has got to be priority 1.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give him 7 there on the first down carry.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Jenkins. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Come 19! 60 Maverick! 60 Maverick! Warrior 70!
On 1st and 10, Mabry. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
19 tight, 19 tight.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Caldwell. Here's the option going left on 2nd down. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think his big boys up front, that offensive line, they've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Falcons are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
Over the middle, complete. That's Rodriguez. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
Boy, that was certainly well worked defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle him for just a short gain.
Throw left side complete. That's Rodriguez. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Well, not sure he saw the linebacker there, as that's batted down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just scared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
To throw again on second down. Davis. And they'll let it go deep for Cruz.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Davis. And they'll let it go deep for Cruz. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Kyle Hamilton picks it. And he will be out of bounds with no time remaining on what will be the final action of this first half.
So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
As they begin their second half here, Charles, offensively, not where they want to be, obviously. They're losing in this ball game, but very much within striking distance. We'll see what adjustments they make in the second half.
Is that the old glass half full, half empty type of a deal? Which way do you want to look at it? Because you're right, they're down on the scoreboard, but they're definitely opportunities now, because if they want to go ahead and get going in this one, get back to the running game. I think there are going to be some places to go with it, and I think the offensive line will appreciate the chance to fire out and hit people.
That's a good point, because they virtually had nothing going in the ground game in that first half.
From the 29, Davis. Caught. It's Cruz, left side. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him over 3,000 yards passing now on the campaign.
And Brandon, nowadays your leader's usually closer to 5,000 yards on the year, but still, 3,000 yards, a good season.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Rodriguez trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game, because those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. And that'll go for a gain of 18 on the keeper. First down.
Pretty ideal right there. Keep it yourself, get the first down, and get the heck out of bounds.
And knowing him, I believe he's thinking, I can get a few more yards if I just lower my shoulder. But he also hears that second voice in his head. His head coach, and probably his agent too, saying, get out of bounds, man. Don't do that.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think this running game, should I say, lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. He finds his man, complete. That's Hayes. He's got room at the 30. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 23. 23 yards the pickup there.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Operating from the gun, Davis. And now here's another interception. And the Saints are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the 2nd half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Rolling to his left, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
I'm sure a lot of time was spent in the locker room, Charles, with talking with his defense about setting a tone here in the 3rd quarter when you're down on the scoreboard. A sack like that, maybe that can get him going.
Yeah, you have to believe exactly what you just said. That they got together and said, let's be some change agents here. Let's go ahead and turn things around. Let's be the force that gets us going here in the 2nd half and puts us in a position to find a way to win the game.
So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt.
And it will be Falcon football.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And my goodness, another interception.
And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
Yet another. And I just had to double-check my math, but it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it, but the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
On 1st down, Mabry. He will find Davis on the left side, complete.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Second and 8 coming up.
7 Pirates. 50 Bobcats. Mustang 19.
Operating from the gun, Mabry. And Caldwell's got it over the middle. And the Saints are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. Well, he's had the interception woes in this one, Charles, and that time a little bold to throw it into double coverage, but he beat the double coverage.
Yeah, but I admire that he still will challenge defenders downfield, even though the ball's been in jeopardy a few times in this game. A nice ball there against multiple defenders, and they advance it downfield.
They'll run on 1st down. Jenkins. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there. His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Saints have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point by Butker is on target. And it's now 21-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. We'll see a return here from the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
At their own 21-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Now Devlin. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. So that now 2 consecutive drives that have ended in interceptions. You wonder if he's trying to do a little too much out there.
Oh, I like where you're going with that maybe he's pressing it a little bit, trying to be too fine with his throws, or maybe overestimating his arm. It could be a combination of all of those things. In any event, he's got to get it figured out and in a hurry.
First play of the drive there is incomplete.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get the field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
Glad to be in the great city of New Orleans, rolling along here in the 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Mabry getting the football to Davis on an out route. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, it's Jenkins. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
A 50-yard attempt.
Butker's kick here is good. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? the special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple at its second down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hayes. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a first down on that last catch as well. Back to throw. Devlin. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Saints are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Well, offensively, Charles, hard to put a silver lining on this one. No secret that they had to take chances with the score where it is, and it leads to a turnover.
I love how you paint the picture, partner, because you're exactly right about that one. Look at the empty stares on that sideline. This is one of those games we just want to go crawl under a rock until it's over.
19 tight, 19 tight.
Throwing on first down, Mabry. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Up the middle they go. Jenkins. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with 3rd down looming. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense, and what a big-time play there.
The Saints on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it, and that will extend their lead even further.
ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And they'll let it go deep for Cruz.
And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Off-play action. Devlin. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see him drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. Operating from the gun, Mabry. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
But probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
Flush to his right. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Devlin. That's complete to Traylon Burks. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard.
You can see the time, effort, and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this. And
look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. 60 yards. And the Falcons are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that.
So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line in a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. If they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
On first down, it's Jenkins. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's second down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And they take a knee. So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big